All right. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, good morning and welcome to Brekkie, the guy who sews. Today is the 29th of June, so we're almost halfway through the year. I can't believe that. I
Wow.
have brought along my good friend Russ, who's been on the channel a
Hi.
couple of times before. Many of you know him, but if you don't, I'm going to just let him introduce himself real quick and let us know who he is, where he is, and all that good jazz. You know what to do.
I've done it like 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
I'm Russ. I'm also known as the person who knocks out Sean's electricity.
Did you happen to see the little addition I put on the thumbnail?
No, I did not. I didn't pay attention to the thumbnail. I'll have to go look.
You have to go look. There's a nice little electricity bolt on there.
Oh, that's gonna be great. I see the electrical bolt. Now I get it.
Yes. I put
I
that in
have
there as
a
an Easter egg.
I have a channel called Quilt Meets World. It's a lot of fun to do there. I usually do a live on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. So I will be there in about 2 hours, 3 hours live. And I do a weekly podcast, vlog, whatever we want to call it, where I show all of the shenanigans that I have gotten up to all week, some of the projects I've been working on. Always little pictures and videos of the fur kids because that's what everybody comes around for, even though we're quilting
I
channels.
know, right? That's how they are with mine. They come to see the kids and the dogs. Like I could very easily just say, okay, here's my kids and dogs channel, and I probably
Yeah.
have a lot more subscribers and views.
I mean, cats do run the internet.
Oh, there you go. See, learning something new today too. So
If it weren't for cats, the internet would not have succeeded, probably.
yes. Well, see, I always think of the what was it, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where it's the dolphins run the world, right? And then they
Yeah.
say
The,
thank you for all the fish. That's
yep.
the only part of the movie I remember is that first like 2 minutes of it. But I think that was funny.
Yeah, oh, I work with boring people. When we left one of the floors on the building, we had a giant whiteboard and I wrote thanks so long and thanks for all the fish, and nobody understood.
I would have understood.
Well, I said I work with boring people, not awesome people like you.
Yeah. All right, so let's see who is here with us. We have a nice little crowd here already. A lot of superstars have joined us, it seems like, as well, which is always good. Dragonfly's Donna is here with us. She was up at 4 o'clock. I love people get up so early to see us, and she's not the only one that would have got up at 4 o'clock to join us, but we'll talk about that in just a second. My friend Sean from Model Designer is here. Good morning to you. Good morning to Joyty. And Vicky Rumsey is here with us, Annette Wagner, and let's see, Zaza, good afternoon to you. She's one of my friends from Scotland.
Oh,
So we're having viewers on both sides of the pond. Let's see, if I miss someone, I apologize in advance. I get distracted very, very easily. Okay, so Joy T. Alex. Yeah, my friend So Quilty of Melissa is here. She says, good morning from Hawaii. I thought the West Coast people were dedicated, but Melissa has got you guys blown out of the water. It is currently 2 a.m. there in Hawaii. She also has her own channel. If you haven't checked it out, go do so. She'll be joining me sometime next month as well, which I think will be a lot of fun. Although we got to do it later in the evening, so she doesn't have to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Laurie Colgan is here with us. Good morning to you. Good morning to Miss Vicky and Charlotte. And let's see, I know I'm missing people here. Good morning from sunny South Carolina. This is Lynn, so that's one of your neighbors, just the next state up.
mhm.
Russ is here. My mate Mike from a New York Beauty. He's also started his own channel very recently. If you haven't checked that out, you'll need to go do that as well. Teresa Lynch. I think we said good morning to Charlotte. Zaza is asking, do I have a link to the channel membership as I'm on an iPad and it doesn't show up? From what I understand with this is I don't use Apple products, but I don't think the membership or the join button works on iOS. But the way around that, to my knowledge, is if you go in through Safari or Chrome or whatever browser you use and go to the channel that way, the join button should show up there if you so wish. I think that's the workaround. Don't quote me on that because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure of myself on that
It
one.
should work that way.
Yeah, I think that's what someone was. I was someone else was asking the same question in a chat on another live a few weeks ago, and that's kind of what I that was the takeaway I got from it. Again, I don't use Apple products, so I can't go
Mhm.
confirm that. Otherwise, I would. But I think that you work around on that. Okay, Mike has been asked if he's going to be as funny as he was yesterday. My money's on yes. That dude is hilarious. It's fun just to see him in the chat a lot of times there as well. Janine Vincent says good. Riddle Oregon says hello. So we've got another young
Russ.
lady over there, West Coast joining us, which is always fun. No, I do not want to put an ad in just yet. Um,
That's aggressive for them to put an ad in this early.
Oh, it does it every week. It's and if I didn't have the thing do it manually, you'd be getting ads like every 5 minutes up to YouTube. So, you've come to see my guests, not ads. So, I mean, we put a few ads in here and there, kind of help us out. But we don't want to overwhelm you guys with that. So, let's see. Vicky, I think we did my da 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 da. I know I'm missing stuff. Okay, good morning, Fallon. It's always good to see her, and she is this close to 40,000 subscribers, and her 40th birthday is next week. So if you haven't checked out Fallon's channel and subscribe, duck over there and get her that a little bit closer to 40K. I'd love to see her hit that mark before she turns the big 40. So that would be great. Good evening, Jan. It's good to see you as well. Good morning. Your mate Stephanie's here. So go check her channel out. It's exclamation point Steph, I think. Yeah. And she's live at 5 today, right?
Yes,
Yes. Okay. I know
as per
sometimes she
schedule.
does different things. So my mate John from Artie's Quilting Co. is here as well. So he was here with me last week. It's always good to see him as well. Good morning, Brenda. And I think we've caught most people. Dub S, the Pug Mum Quilter, is here with us as well. Um, Deb Kosher says she'd love to see Fallon hit 40K. Absolutely, me too. And then Laura Supp is here with us as well. I think she's from Arizona, so it's bright and early where she is. Okay, so let's move on. Did you bring a sewing project? I didn't even ask you this before we got
I
started.
did.
Oh, good.
This is Stephanie's picnic pinwheel quilt. This
Mm.
pattern she released last week with her virtual retreat, and I got the units pieced, the triangle pieces pieced, and then I paired them up, and they just need to be made into squares and then blocks.
Oh, nice. That is excellent. Okay, so Fallon says that as of this morning, she needed just one more subscriber. So we just need somebody,
One more
anybody. Like if you have a
subscriber.
second or a third account, duck over there real quick. Um, and do it that way. My second account is already subscribed. Otherwise, go there and do it right now and just knock her over the edge. So yeah, that is super exciting to see.
Wait. Where are you?
Things you wish you could say in response.
That's right. Hey, we keep it real here on the guy who
I
says it
hate
is.
that YouTube does stupid things like that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Let's see if
So
I can
what?
pull it up.
Okay, excellent. So Mama Pop Quilt Shop is here with us as well. Congratulations on just being you. We always love Laura Lynn, and she usually goes live around 1 p.m. in the afternoon as well. So go check that out as well. And we'll just keep an eye on Fallon's channel and see how quick we can get her to 40,000. If it's only one, then we should be in good shape, right? Let's see. No, it's still saying 39.9. That's
Yeah,
sad.
because I'm trying to find an account that I haven't subscribed yet.
Okay, that's fine. We'll find one person. Somebody during this live will not be subscribed to Fallon on one of their many accounts,
There it
and they can
is.
go. Okay, have we hit 40? Let's see. Let's go take a look. Yes, there it is. It is now officially 40,000 subscribers to Fallon. So a huge congratulations to Fallon. You well deserved this. I'm so happy to finally see that number click from 39.9 to 40,000. So happy early birthday from Russ and everybody else. And it's just, yeah, super exciting to see that as well. Good morning to Rob from Quilting in the Man Cave. It's good to see you. And if you have your own channel, go ahead and put your link in. It should be exclamation point in your first name if you already put in. If not, we'll get you set up at some point. But what am I working on? I keep getting distracted. This is not funny. Last week, you would have seen my friend, the Wing Monkey, and I
Yes.
have made no progress since.
And I like the fact that you did them in brown and not grays. We had that conversation.
We did. Okay, well, that's fine. This is what John had intended. I thought about putting a little jacket on it like the movie, but then I figured that was too much work. So it's just got to stay
Probably.
green. Yeah, and then I was worried that it might detract from the rest of the quilt. So I was like, Sean, no, just stay in your lane, and just do it that way. So what we're going to try and do now is we've already put this is the left half of the block. There's going to be another wing over here, and that's what we're going to start constructing today. So hopefully we'll do it without errors. I make no promises. But what I have done is someone suggested to me earlier this week, they keep organized by putting each step into a little Ziploc bag.
Oh,
Well, each piece into a Ziploc bag. And so what I took from that is that I like using these letter clip things that I've
yep.
made for myself. I like doing it this way, but I think it's a good idea for me to put each step into a baggie. And so that way, when I get to the end of the step, if I have extra pieces left over, I can go, hey, you just messed up somewhere, Sean. Go back and check.
Unless it's
So
IKEA.
I don't cut extra pieces. These blocks have 150 to 200 pieces. I'm not going to sit there and cut extra. So yeah, makes perfect sense that it might be like IKEA, but no. I was putting together one of my cotton cuts things yesterday. I actually did have an extra piece on that, so it does happen from time to time.
I've had a couple of
Okay.
those.
It was funny what was it, Carnival last year or earlier? Was it last year, this year? I don't know. Anyway,
It
whenever it
ended
was.
earlier this year, so.
Yeah, I think it was like Clue 5. I actually had like 40 extra pieces.
40?
Yeah.
I've had two or like I've had two extra pieces a couple times, and then
Yeah,
like the next month or the month after I've needed them.
that's what it was. It was actually 2/3 of Clue 6. They put it with Clue 5 because I get the whole kit at once. So I was like, yeah, this is not right. Something's not wrong. Let me just put these to the side and I'll figure out what's going on. And I pulled out the next month's Clue and it was missing like exactly that many pieces. So, you know, if you ever get a bunch of pieces like that, yeah, don't just put them into your scrap pile. Make sure they don't go somewhere else
Although
first.
the gnomes do have a lot of extra pieces.
They do, and I've actually come up with an idea for what I'm going to do with some of those extra pieces, which I'll share a little later on. So, but yeah, they do that. They do that deliberately with the gnomes. They do give you an extra bunch of pieces, so that way, if something happens to one of your pieces, or you just want to go make something else with the extras, you can. So that's a lot of fun there. So. Okay, so it looks like everybody's congratulating Fallon on hitting 40K, which is awesome. I'm so excited about that. Yeah, I'm not one to express like jumping up and down, screaming and yelling because I'm too introverted for that. But I am, um, yeah. So I'm probably as excited for Fallon as she is. So, um, there we go. Laura Lintish has to go deal with the chickens. I'll be back. Big hugs, everybody. Okay, so, and that says I'm just one away 3K. When you get to 1,000, it goes in increments of 10. So we're about 9 or 10 away. So we'll get to that point. You know, we'll get to there whenever the time is due for that. Okay, and then everybody it's in the chat's already subscribed, so you know that's cool too. Okay, we were talking about John earlier. The other John, we've got two Johns here. We've got John from Art East who's here with us, unless he wandered off, and then we have John and Curtis from well, no,
Guys
not
Craft
Quilt
2.
Meets World. Yes, okay, I'm getting the two confused. I'm going Quilt Meets World. That's you. So John from Guys Craft 2 is here with us as well. So there we go. Pam's Laser and Resin Crafts is here with us. She's one of my buddies from Brisbane, Australia. So now we've got the west coast of the US. We've got all the oceans covered basically, except for the Indian Ocean. So if you're watching from one of the side, well, Jan's from the eastern side of the Indian Ocean, so we've got all the major oceans covered now. Okay, yes, there we go. How about that? So there we go.
It's just one giant body of water. It all counts.
It does, yeah. I just think it's fun though. Like we got the east coast of the Atlantic, the west coast of the Atlantic covered. We've got the west coast of the Pacific and the east coast part of the Pacific, and then the west part of the India, the Middle East or Africa or something to watch there, and then we'll be good. So. And then if Katie pops in, she can cover the Arctic Ocean for us.
Exactly.
Katie, where are you? Katie. Okay.
You should
Anyway,
be awake
all
by
right.
now.
She should be. She's 3 hours ahead of us. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, so she should be good. But she may have wandered off and done something else. And I think she tends to stay up late through the middle of the night and then wake up late. So, anyways, where did I put my pieces of fabric? There we go.
They're
We'll
in
see
the
how far
baggie. We just discussed that.
Actually, I took them out of the bag, but this is all I've done. So I was showing that as a demonstration. Okay, so today's let's go with question number one is how far am I going to get today before I have to pull out my very, very bestest friend?
I'm gonna go 3 hours.
Oh, you are a very trusting soul. That's all I can say.
I like to look at the bright side of life, make sure that things are a bit more positive. So I'm hoping that you don't have to rip out anything.
Yeah, that'd be nice, but I make no promises. I
I
really
haven't.
I keep telling myself I should not do these complicated patterns on a live, but then I was sitting there last night and I'm like, it's already cut. I don't
I
have to do
haven't
anything.
done an Art East yet. I bought the red pandas a couple months ago. Actually, it came at Christmas time, so it's been more than a couple months ago. I just haven't had a chance to start cutting it out yet,
Oh, excellent.
and
Yeah,
I'm
no,
a little terrified because of the sheer quantity of cuts.
do it one block at a time. That's what I tell a lot of people to do is do it one block at a time because then it's not as terrifying. It's probably more efficient to do everything at once.
I don't mind cutting everything at once, but I think it's just the sheer quantity of pieces that need to be sewn in an individual block that is intimidating.
Yeah. But I find it's a lot of fun. I don't know, everyone's different, but I would rather cut out that many pieces and have something that's unique and different rather than making, five or six or seven or 12 of the same block over and over again. I
Yeah,
think for me, I get bored very easily. So having something different to do each time is fun for me. But as a lot of people are different and this is your craft time, you do you. I'm not being, I hope I'm not sounding negative if you choose to
you're
do it
sounding
differently.
fine.
Okay, good. Well, sometimes like if the coffee hasn't set in yet, I don't, I sometimes wonder. So
It could also be my introvert in me translating it to it sounds fine.
yeah, absolutely. Steph says, Russ, you can make the red pandas, no problem. She knows you very well, and she's done that pattern. So,
Yeah.
I'm with her on that. I think you could do it quite happily and not have the first problem. If you just take it step by step, like it's not something that you want to rush.
Yeah, it's just getting the time with all the other projects that I keep starting. And I
Yeah.
just need to start convincing myself to finish things.
Yeah. Well, when you figure that out, please let me know so I can actually learn those words of wisdom. Okay.
Well, I've started going through some of my stuff and I'm like, what is this fabric for? Because I'll buy fabric, I'll have an intent for it, and then it goes away, and then I'll show up a little bit later. I'm like, where was this from?
Yeah, we all do that, I think. Yeah, I found fabric the other day and I'm like, what is this for? I don't know. I'll figure it out one of these days. Okay, so let's see. All right, so some people tell us what they're having for breakfast. Yeah, so let's throw it out there for the world. What is everybody having for breakfast? And then if you are in the UK or Australia or somewhere else and you're having dinner, let us know what you had for dinner or lunch, so that way we know what the future had.
I don't know if I want to hear what everybody's having for breakfast. I haven't had any yet.
Well, me either. I got distracted watching I think I was watching something on YouTube, and then I was like, oh crud, it's 7:30. I better get up and get ready for the live. So
The closer Chick-fil-A takes like 20 minutes in the drive-through on Saturdays. So I
yeah,
would have to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning in order to have had breakfast from them this morning.
yeah,
And
we
make
have two.
sure I got Riley walked and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I drive to the further Chick-fil-A because mine's kind of like the close one to me is kind of like yours. It takes forever, but if I drive an extra 4 minutes or so, I can actually be in and out a lot quicker.
Yeah, the extra driving time negates the time saved in the drive-through. So if
Oh,
I
for
drive to
sure.
the further one, I'd still get back at the same time.
Yeah. Well, that's how it was with when Simon was here. He absolutely loved Hardee's.
Oh,
That
I
was
haven't
like
been to
his.
parties in ages, and they closed the two that were by me.
Yeah, and for anyone that's west of the Mississippi, it's what you
Carl's
guys call
Jr.
Carl's Jr. Apparently, I think the Mississippi's kind of like the dividing line. It's the same stuff, it's the same menu, pretty much, just a different name. But yeah, the one near us is one like maybe a mile and a half away from us. But the last time I went, the last few times I've been there, I think they've had to go outside and find a cow and process it and then cook it and all that sort of stuff there. So we wanted to give Simon parties one last time before he went home a couple of weeks ago. And so I told my wife, I said, there's another one about 15 minutes down the street. I said, let's just go to that one. It's always been a good experience. And I think if I'd timed it, it would have taken me less time to drive down to that one, get the burgers and come back than it would have been to one, it's 5 minutes from the house. So,
We all have those restaurants in Massachusetts. When I go back, there's a rule that we need to go to Friendlies because we don't
love
have them
friend.
here.
No,
And it's always okay, which Friendlies are we going to go to? Because they know, if it's this day, then we want to go to this location because they're going to be decent. If it's this day, we want to go to this location. And I'm like, I just want Friendlies. I want my ice cream.
yes, you've got to have your ice cream at the end of your meal at Friend. We used to have a few friendlies here. We lived very close to one. We went there all the time because you went and got a meal with a nice dessert for like $7 or $8 at that point. But
Yeah.
I think the closest one to us now is I was actually looking at this online the other day, just randomly. Where is the closest one to us? I think it's up like past Washington or something. It's like Maryland or Pennsylvania, somewhere like that. It's not even close to us. It's like if I want friendlies, I'm kind of in trouble.
Yeah. That's one of the few things that I miss from Massachusetts because they started in Wilbraham, Massachusetts.
Okay, I
And
was just like,
every time that I would drive from the Boston area out to Western Mass to see family, I knew I was almost there when I passed the big giant Friendlies topiary off the pike.
oh, okay. Yeah, I've only ever been to Massachusetts once, and that was by cruise ship. So I'd like to go back at some point.
I will be back there next May because my sister and my niece are graduating college
Oh,
together.
very cool. So your sister's a decent amount younger than you, or she just went to college later, or both?
Well, this is going to be the second time that she's going to be graduating with this daughter because she was pregnant with, well, when she graduated high school, she was pregnant with her older child. And when she graduated with her associates, she was pregnant with her younger child. And it was so pregnant, she graduated on like the fourth or fifth. And the younger child was born on the 12th. So that's how pregnant she was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And uh, she is being held back in her job because she only has an associate's, not a bachelor's.
Okay.
So she and a friend of hers decided to go back and get their bachelor's in
Oh,
accounting.
very
And
nice.
my younger niece is going to the same school for nursing.
Oh,
And
very
they're going
cool.
to be like my sister is going to be done with her credits in December, but the official graduation is not until May. And they're both going to be graduating together. They just haven't figured out who's graduating first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because sometimes there's like a January graduation at some colleges, or is that my imagination?
I don't know if there's a January in some colleges. It kind of makes sense for December graduates, but I don't know. I have friends who graduated in December when I was in college, and they did the May graduation with everybody else because it's all your friends are in there if you are one of the
Right.
young whippersnappers and you went all to school there.
Yeah,
So
I
it
might be.
makes sense to do that one graduation.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of a community college. I think that maybe that's what I'm
It could be.
think. Yeah, I think the community colleges around here have a January graduation, so that's probably what I'm thinking of. I mean, I have some college credits, but I never graduated from college because I really had no desire to go. And thankfully, my career doesn't require it. I think it's encouraged, but I don't need a
Yeah,
college. I don't need a college degree to do my job, which is nice. So yeah,
I
we're good
just
on
giggle
that.
because nothing I learned in college directly impacts any of my work. So, like
I
everything that
keep
I do is basically hands-on experience.
Right. I see that so often. Like, you see someone's graduated, with this master's, not well, major, not masters. I'll get it right in a minute. So you can tell they didn't go to college, right? And then they do something totally different. Um,
Yeah.
um,
All a college degree is it tells people you can be taught, in my opinion. That's really all it is.
right. I mean, for a lot of careers, you need it. Like, you wouldn't want your doctor just,
I
rolling
agree.
out of out of high school, like medical school is something very important. Like, Um, but yeah, I think there's others that you don't net, sometimes work experience is as important. But yeah, we won't get too far into that because that kind of gets a little dicey.
It does.
That sort of thing there. You do what's best for you.
Exactly. My opinion is if you want the college degree, go for it. If you don't want
Yep.
the college degree, don't go for it, but also don't complain if the jobs you're looking for want that college degree.
Right.
I mean that's really all it is you if you don't want to pursue it, you can't make complaints about it.
And I
And
can't,
and I know there's lots of places that you don't need the degree and it's fine and you can still make bank. So
yeah, especially if you're a tradesperson, like if
exactly.
you and there's a lot of like I know quite a few people that graduated high school and went straight into trades, and they
Yeah,
make a whole lot of money. And they do a lot of stuff I can't do, like plumbing and
exactly.
electrical. I can't do that stuff. I mean, I tried plumbing once, and then it ended up costing me $400 or $500 for an emergency plumb because I screwed it up so bad. So
Yeah, I know the basics of all of those thanks to like This Old House and the shows on PBS. So if it's a very minor repair, sure, I can do that. If it's, changing a toilet, I've done that. But if you want me to fix a leak, there is no way I'm going to be able to figure out how to do that.
sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing this right.
Josie asked if I know where Belchertown is, and I know approximately where it is. I have friends who live there. I can't say if I've been there or not. And her husband is from there, and she grew up in Methuen.
Okay. My knowledge of that area is very, very limited to say the least. So I'm going to say no on that one. Now, if you
I
ask me
lived
about,
in I lived in Western Mass for basically 2 years, and then Eastern Mass for basically six. But 4 of those were college, where I didn't have any access to anything outside of public transit. So I really am bad with geography.
I'm good with geography okay, that makes more sense. For the most part, it depends on which area. Like if you ask me about obviously Virginia or North Carolina, that mid-Atlantic, I'm good. Nova Scotia, I'm pretty good with. Quebec and Eastern Ontario, I'm actually fairly decent with. Obviously Australia, but yeah, there's some places I know nothing about, so I totally get it.
My sister
If,
was in Nova Scotia last weekend for a
oh,
wedding.
very nice. They should have gone up and said hi to Laura Lynn and all of that's
Well, she was in Sydney, so I said go say hi to John and Artis,
John
but
and that.
they were all wedding gear. I also did joke that she needs to send me back some of the all dressed chips, and she
Mm.
sent me back a giant sampler of chips. Like I think she sent me 10 bags of chips.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Sydney's a nice little place. We talked about that with John last week. I'd love to go back at some point, and if we do, I'm definitely going to be knocking on John's door to say hi. But yeah, it's a beautiful place. And then if you go a little further out of town, down towards where all the lakes are, I forget what they're called now. It's really really beautiful down there. Just a wonderful place. Okay, so Andrea says. My youngest brother went from high school to welding school. He makes more than I did with 2 master's degrees. He rubs it in all the time. My brother did the same thing. He started doing stonemasonry in high school. He was doing, like, Australian schools offer a thing where you can do like a couple of credits with an employer, like you go and work with them, and you kind of do, like, you start off your apprenticeship with them,
Yeah.
and then if you do a good job, they will put you on their apprenticeship program. And that just worked out so beautifully for him. And he did that for many, many years. So, yeah, and there's other people I knew from high school did the same thing with mechanics. And my brother-in-law actually did that for a long time. He switched over to accounting 10 years later. But, I think trades are definitely a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask this a little later on in the, I was going to say episode, but we were going to give you a quiz. We talked about this earlier this week with some friends of mine. We thought it'd be fun to give you a little quiz.
Okay.
So we'll start off with this, and how it's going to work. These are all Australian terms, Australian slang. And for every question you get right before the viewers, because we're on a 20-second delay with Zoom, you'll get a point. But if the viewers come in and get the answer first, then they get the point.
Okay. Now,
So I've
does it matter that I have a lot of Australian channels in my YouTube list?
well, that's not going to make a
So much that I know about Lubmobile and their phone number is 133032.
Okay, so this may not be as easy as I thought it was going to be. Okay. Okay, so we might have to adjust the points that if the viewers get it first, then they get 5 points. You should have kept that nugget to yourself. John says, yes, we'll have to take you to Highland. Yeah, the Highlands. That's what I could not remember the name of it. It's such a beautiful part of the world. If you ever get up to Sydney, Nova Scotia, you need to go visit the Highlands. It's such a beautiful place. Okay, so I found 10 different job names in
job
Australia.
names. I don't know job names.
Oh, well, thank goodness for that. Okay, so since he has a good knowledge of Australian stuff already, we'll give the viewers how many points? Why not? No, we'll do 2 for the jobs. Okay, so the first one is tradie.
Is what? Trading?
Tradie. Tradie.
Oh, a tradie.
Yeah.
Would that be like pawn shop?
No, it's a job. It's a job.
Well, I meant the pawn shop pawner.
No.
So a tradie.
Good guess. Good guess, though. This is more a broad term. It's not a specific occupation, but it would describe like a group of.
So basically,
jobs.
like the tradesman.
Yes.
Which, so with Debbie had already said.
Okay. Well, we'll give you both a point each, since you're kind of neck and neck on that one there. Okay. So the rest of these would be more a singular profession.
Okay.
I threw a tradie in this. Okay. Brekkie.
Brekkie would be a bricklayer.
Correct. Okay, so that's 1 point for us. Okay, so 1 for us. Okay. A dunny diver.
That would be a plumber.
Okay.
Because I watch it's an Australian plumbing channel that he constantly is unplugging drains.
Okay. A garbo.
That would be a garbage person.
Uh-huh.
Sanitation professional.
Yes. Okay, and then, yeah, the viewers are coming in with the right answers for the most part too, which is really fun. Okay, a sparky.
That's probably an electrician.
Okay, yeah, we had to put Sparky in for you, especially with our. Okay, so let's just before we go any further, for anyone that didn't know, the first time Russ came on to my live, it was about 18 months ago. It was his first live with someone else, correct?
It was my very first live with anybody else.
Very
Yeah.
first live. And about 45 minutes into the live, it became his first solo live. Because
And I was completely confused. I had no idea what was going on. And Sean didn't even know it was continuing.
No, I had no idea. I was outside talking to my mate in the back because the power went out to the whole subdivision. And, you know, I was the host of Zoom, so I figured, if the electricity shut off, it just turned the live off. So I was like, okay, well, I'll text Russ and say, hey, look, we lost power, it'll be fine. And I get a text from Martha about 5 minutes later, and she's like, oh, do you realize Russ is still alive? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I had no internet service in the backyard. So I walked out to my car where I got some service and was able to log back on. And Russ was doing a fantastic job doing live by himself. The viewers were really helpful with him and everything else. And so we've always joked about me needing the backup generator when Russ goes live and that sort of thing there. But thankfully, we haven't had that happen since. So if you see in the thumbnail that there's a electricity bolt in the thumbnail, I put that in there as a little Easter egg just to mess with Russ, and he didn't even notice it till I mentioned it. So there we go. I did want to say good morning to a couple of friends. It looks like my friend Amy C popped in, Chloe, Tammy from the Siberian Wind, and then Philippa is here with us. She knows all these answers because she is Australian.
She doesn't sleep either, so.
Yeah, apparently not. Catherine is also another of my mates from Tasmania. So let's see. And there was someone else I wanted to say hi to, and now I've lost it. So of Debbie, good morning to you. My mate Rob, I did see you got your second colorway, which is fantastic for Wild West. I should find out in the next week or so which colorway I'm doing, hopefully. Which will be really exciting. We'll do more news about that in the near future. Amy C says she remembers that live with Russ. He did a great job. And then Christine was the other one I wanted to say hi to. And Christine is the whole reason I started with Art East. She was the one that messaged me one day and said, hey, you need to check out this Darkson pattern.
Oh.
And so, yeah, she is the reason, and I thank her every day that I got the addiction to the Art East program. So thank you so much for that, Christine, if you're still here with us. Good morning, Michelle. It is good to see you as well. Okay, what am I doing? Besides,
you were asking me about jobs.
Oh, yeah, and you're doing such a wonderful job of this that I don't think the poor viewers have a chance, but that's okay. All right, so let's see. Truckee.
A truckie? Is that like a truck driver? The
Correct.
big
Yeah.
wheeler?
Yep. Okay, and this one I didn't really remember, so this one's gonna be a little. Yeah, I'll be proud of you. Get this one right. Chippy.
Would that be a tree chopper downer?
That's what I thought, but the answer to that would be no. It's not a logger.
Chippy. What else would a chippy be? Somebody who eats a French fry person.
That would have been my second guess.
And sounds like it's still not right.
Correct. Your answer would be closer to the first one than the second. Okay, Jan's got the answer. But then she's cheating because she lives in Australia. We shouldn't let them. Okay, so Fallon says taxi driver. That's cabbie. We almost put that one in, but we didn't.
Cabbie, I think, is universal.
Yes, I think so too. Okay, so yeah, a couple of these last ones are a little more difficult, but that's okay. We couldn't give you all gimmies, right? Postie.
That would be a mailman.
Okay, correct. Okay. Muso.
Muso?
Yeah.
Person in a band, singer.
Yes. Correct. And then Ambo.
Ambo.
Schlick Stitches says, hi, all. Good morning. It's good to see you.
I have, what would be an Ambo? I have no idea what an Ambo would be.
Okay, so we'll see if the audience pops in with this one.
I like Zaza's answer.
Yep, and she would be correct. Okay, what am I missing here? That's there. That's there. Oh, we have an extra H. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So you did pretty well here. Out of the 10, you got 8 right before the audience. So if we had done the 5-1, you guys would be even. So there you go. And the audience did a fantastic job of this. So yeah, excellent job. Good morning, Miss Debbie. It's from Inquilt Fact. It's good to see you. Yeah.
I'm just really excited that I know what a dunny is.
Yes, I know. I have to refrain from using that word a lot of times with new people because they're like, "What are you talking about?"
And like I said, it's the channel is called Drain Cleaning Australia, and
okay.
it's one of those. It's just satisfying to watch a clogged drain get unclogged and just watch the water drain away. So I have no idea why I watch it, but it's just that weird satisfying thing.
Well, it's kind of like those what is it? The people that watch the pimple popper thing. Like,
Oh no! I will not watch that.
yeah, I know
No.
a lot of people like watching that. And I'm like, yeah, more power to you. That's you watch what makes you happy. That's yeah. Don't expect me to watch that. It's not for me.
Well, a couple of years ago, So Becca was talking about a channel called Post 10, and he goes out and unclogs culverts, the
Mm,
drains that go underneath the roads and stuff.
yeah.
And I started watching, like, I just pulled it up because I'm like, it's just that oddly satisfying. And I recognize places that he goes to because
Oh,
he
that's
does a lot
cool.
like he's primarily in Maine, but he has done stuff in Western Mass. And I'm like, I know exactly where that is. I know exactly where that is. And it's just kind of amusing. I was like, there's a Joanne's around the corner from this one.
All right, so while we're talking about that, this was not one of the questions I had on my list, but you know, we go off script all the time. Um, besides that, do you have any other channels like that are non-quilting that you enjoy watching? I always love asking this question because I find out some of the neatest channels this way. So,
Well, I watch a few channels that are gamers. They play Super Mario Maker.
okay,
Those I enjoy watching. One of the first Australian that I just watch regularly. She was a streamer, but she retired at the end of the year. So she's no longer playing Mario Maker. So I don't get to see her anymore.
okay.
I love Computer File and Number File. They're from the UK, and uh, like Number File just does just really weird number related things. Like this past episode, what they were talking about a weird um formula that will give you prime numbers
Oh, okay,
until you hit 41. But it was like that's kind because at first I'm like that's interesting, and then he's like, well, it does break at 41 because of this reason. I'm like, okay, so it's just one of those weird things, and I'm a nerd. I like to watch those things.
oh, that's nothing wrong with that.
And then I spent one of the people that's a regular on Number File. He does stand up maths,
Yes.
where it's basically the big challenge every year is a new way to calculate pi on Pi Day.
Oh, okay. See, pie for me, I like to eat pie. Like I know it's 3.14 and past it, I couldn't care less. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely an eat a pie kind of dude. Okay, so I did have a question for you that came in from my friend Jan from over in Western Australia, and she wants. I'm pretty sure you get a notice one. Do you know what a jackaroo is?
A jackaroo.
A jackaroo, and there's also a jillaroo.
Well, part of me was thinking like a combination of a jackalope and a kangaroo, but that doesn't sound right.
Okay, it's going to be a profession. So I'll narrow it down for you for that.
Um,
And it's not using one of these because otherwise I'd be the world's best jackaroo.
it. I'm gonna say mechanic because you jack up a car.
Okay, no, it's a good guess. Okay, so
But you said Jillaroo is the thing too, so
that's the female version of it.
yeah.
Okay, have you ever seen the movie Australia with Hugh
No,
Jackman?
no, I have not.
Okay, well that would have given it away. Okay, so people are asking, is it a kangaroo? No, it's basically a rancher or someone that like herds cattle, sheep, that sort of thing
Oh,
there. I forget what the American term is for it now.
it would be called a rancher, a
A
herder.
rancher.
Um, Cowboy.
Yeah, cowboy, cowgirl, yeah, that sort of thing there. So that's it there. So if you'd seen the movie Australia with Hugh Jackman and that sort of thing there, you probably would have picked up on that very, very quickly. And of all the stuff that you watched, I figured you would have got that one. But that's okay. You know, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's now move on. I actually came up with 30 more questions, and I recently, when I was doing the research for this last night, I was actually because I've been out of the country for 20 some years, and people ask me, I need to give me Australian terms, and I'm like, I've been gone so long, I have to go look them up again, remind me, you know, because you lose the retention.
Uh-huh.
And there was a lady, she's actually from Pennsylvania who moved to Australia a couple of years ago. She's got a channel called Kind of Australian. And actually, let me grab her channel link because she is super fun. I've been watching a bunch of her videos the last couple of days. Well, actually, since last night. And it's just kind of fun to see an American's perspective of living in Australia. So if you want something fun to watch, go check out that channel. That's
Oh, now
really
that sounds fun.
yeah, like there was like 50, what was she? I think she found like 25 or 30 things in Australian supermarkets that you would not find in America. She just has a lot of fun content. So definitely go check her out. She has no clue who I am, but I just I've been really enjoying watching her videos. And she was actually the one that I took the job titles all from. It was from that one of her videos. So if you see that video, you can kind of skip it because you've already kind of seen it here. So, but other than that, go check out her content. It's a lot of fun if you want to learn more about Australia. Okay, so we'll do the same thing again. And I actually got this list elsewhere. What is an ankle biter?
That sounds like a little tiny dog.
You're close. Not with the dog.
A baby?
I'll give you credit for that. Basically, it's a young kid. We call them ankle biters.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll give you that one. I've got to keep score. Okay, this one's a gimme. Brekkie.
That would be breakfast. The most
Okay, let's just
important
say
meal of the day.
yeah. So if you got that one wrong, I would have been very, very disappointed in you. Okay, Barbie.
Barbie, a barbecue.
Yes. Okay, I was gonna say if you got that one wrong, I'd be okay. This one here you're probably not going to get, but I had to throw it in just because I love this one. A bin chicken.
A bin chicken.
Chicken. Yes, Marlene says Rugrats for ankle biters, and that would be correct. Really should go look up a picture of this and show you all, because none of you going to have any idea what I'm talking about.
It's an animal. It's
Yes.
going to be the Australian version of a raccoon.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, in some ways, yes, but it is not a mammal.
Uh, I'm not going to have any idea what
I
it is.
know. I've really figured it was going to be something that you weren't going to get. But I figured I'd throw it anyway just because I love the name. So a bin is what we call a trash can.
Yep.
And then a chicken is obviously a chicken. So this is something that ducks into like it's like it's the Australian trash panda basically.
That's what I said. It sounds like basically a raccoon trash panda.
Yes. Okay, so it's actually a bird called an ibis. And I'm going to pull up a picture of it right now. This is our bin chicken.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, so cute. Like you'll see them in parks and that sort of thing there, and they're running around. And then sometimes you'll see them like up in the trash cans and that sort of thing there. Now we do have another trash panda, which is the dingo. Like if you see them, you see a trash can after a dingo's got into it, it's just decimated. So Jan says ibis, so she got it right. I figured she would. So there we go. All right. So next one is going to be a bottle O.
A bottle O.
Bottle O.
Would that be like a beer or something?
Correct. More specific.
A bottle of beer?
Okay. Let's see if the audience gets it first. You're in the ballpark. If anyone knows what the bottle O is, let us know in the comments.
Is it a specific brand or something?
No.
Okay.
Marlene says ibis are too elegant to be diving. No. They are unapologetic. They are basically a if it's basically what when the trash panda comes back and wants to be something different, they come back as an ibis or a bin chicken or a tip turkey is the other name they use for it, because what you guys call a dump is what we call a tip, because I guess you tip
Okay.
the stuff out. So yeah, they're called tip turkeys and bin chickens. Jan is staying quiet. Bottle shop, very good, Teresa Lynch. You got it correct. It's where you go buy a bottle shop. It's where you go to buy your alcoholic beverages.
Oh, a packy.
Or a brew through, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Massachusetts, it's package store, so they call them the packy.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. So in Australia, pretty much every state that I know of, you don't buy your beer inside the supermarket. You have to go to a bottle or a bottle shop.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot of
Massachusetts.
times they're right next door to the supermarket. It's
Uh-huh.
owned by the supermarket, but it's in a separate section, so they don't have the kids running through it, basically.
Yep.
So there we go. I think you're doing exceptionally well this quiz so far. The ones that you aren't getting are the ones I weren't expecting you to. Okay, Buckley's.
Buckley's. All I can visualize is it's a grocery store, but that's not right.
That's Bucky's. You're close.
That's a gas station. Supermarket.
Okay, so do you want to do it like the spelling bee where I can use it in a sentence?
Sure.
Okay, so you got Buckley's chance of getting this right.
It's like next to zero.
Correct. Good job. Okay. All right. So I'm hoping the audience is enjoying this. They seem to be. Let us know in the chat if you're enjoying this little quiz, because I thought it'd be something fun to do.
This is fun.
Yeah, it was funny because we were. I don't know if Tammy is still awake from. I can't remember her name. Siberian Wind. We were actually in her live, I think Sunday night, and we were talking about. Someone's mentioned I needed to do a video on. Now I've forgotten again. Maybe it was this. Oh, that's right. Yeah, like the Australian terms and that sort of thing there. And I'm like, yes, I promised you all that 6 months ago. I promptly forgot. And so I figured, okay, let's do it on a live because it'll be more fun that way. And then we volunteered you to be the guinea pig.
I enjoy being guinea pigs on things, so this is a lot of fun. It's almost like I should come up and say Massachusetts town names and have you spell them.
Well, we could do that in Australia too, if the Aboriginal terms, because we have I think I've mentioned this before, like Gunny Road is one of the roads near us, and it's spelled Goonoo space Goonoo. Nothing like it's pronounced. And that's how we kind of tell who's local, because if someone comes up and goes, do you know where Goonoo Road is? Like, yeah, it's down the street and around the corner, but yeah, you've never been here before. And I think even Stephen and Walter said Goonoo Road on their video when they went through my hometown. Or maybe it was
there's a channel a Southern thing where they actually give you town names and tell you that you need to guess how to pronounce them.
Yes.
So yeah.
See, that's where you need the language of origin. Well, I guess you can't say can you use it in a sentence because that would give it away.
Because then you know how to.
All right, Shalik Stitches, and I'm probably butchering that name. is asking you, do you know what a kennel is in Canada?
Do I know what a kennel is in Canada? The only kennel that I know of is what a puppy dog stays in.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious to know the answer on this one as well. Oh yes, so Andrea says she knows she's enjoying because she's the one that started this whole thing off on Sunday. So thank you. If you're enjoying this, you can thank Andrea for it because this was her brainchild, and she inspired me to do this today. I'm enjoying this. We're having a lot of fun with this. It's something. Oh crud!
Oh no, do you need Jack?
I do.
Well, at least I have mine convenient.
Yeah, I pulled him out earlier. That was Oh well, that's all right. Okay, so it also says that Scotland has a brilliant town names for that as well. Okay, so yeah, well, I might have to do that one day, where we do different town names. I think that'd be fun. Pat Boo
How to
says she's happy
pronounce.
she got up so early, and I think this would be fun for folks watching in the replay as well because they'll be able to join in the fun.
Yeah.
I just thought, yeah, this would be a lot of fun. Okay, what we were talking, yeah, about before I got distracted and have to use my old mate Jack. Okay. All right, let's just move on to the next one. Budgie smugglers.
Budgie smugglers.
And I know the Australians are all chuckling right now.
Uh, is a budgie a bird?
Yes, a
Okay.
budgie is what you, okay, so a budgie is what you guys
Parakeet.
here would call parakeet. They're
Yep.
actually native to Australia.
Yeah. And the only reason why I know that is because they call parakeets budgies in the UK.
Okay.
Because they talked about it on Mrs. Brown's Boys. Budgie smuggler. I have no idea what that could be.
Okay. So this is definitely Australian too. Okay, Zaz, I got it right. Swimming trunks, but you have to be a little more specific than that. Basically, a budgie smuggler is what you would call a pair of Speedos. Yes. And then if you think about it, you'll figure out why it's called a budgie smuggler.
I as soon as I thought about it.
There you go. Okay, Shalik Stitches says it's a place you take your dog for the day or night, like a babysitter for your dog. Okay, so it's the same term as it is here in the US. Like a kennel is usually where you take your dog if you like a doggy, doggy hotel.
Yeah, except
that's
it's
okay.
Like doggy, like Riley.
Yeah, see,
here.
Zaza's kind of got an unfair advantage because a lot of these words are the same in the UK as they are in Australia. So we might have to ban her from giving us. But no, actually, no, we told her the audience is able to answer.
Yeah.
Russ
Again, I know a lot of UK terms because I watch a lot of UK stuff as well.
Yeah, and we
American
are on 20.
Content is boring. No offense to all my American friends that I love to watch their stuff, but we just tend to be a little more reserved than a lot of the UK. And when I say content, I'm really talking about TV shows and stuff like that because our TV shows are tame compared to what you can see in the UK.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Mike says that's the best thing I've heard all week. We call it a banana hammock. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say this from here on out is that when we broadcast this, you guys see it 20 seconds behind us. That's just how Zoom works. So my Australian guest, my UK guest, if you want to chip in with the answer, go for it because by the time you hear it, Russ has already had 20 seconds to think about it. So that's the rules of the game. So we will give the budgie smugglers to the audience, along with the bin chicken and the bottle-o. Okay, so chock a block.
Oh, that's completely plugged.
Yes.
Stopped
okay.
up.
Yeah. Well, it can be, and it can also mean that something is full as well.
Yeah.
But I will give you credit for the something is stopped up on that one.
That's used on the Plumber channel.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, absolutely. As I said, I know. Yeah, once you said you've watched some channels in Australia, and I figured this was a risk that you'd know quite a few of these. But that's why I threw some of these harder ones in just to kind of at least stump you on a couple. Okay, so Giovanna got that one right as well. Excellent. So yeah, but as I said, yeah, my Australian audience, my UK audience, please chip in. Do not be, oh no, I unstitched the wrong one. Dang it. Okay. We're not going to see much sewing here today. We're going to do quizzes. Okay. Chook.
Chook.
Yeah. Chook.
Chook. I have no concept of what that could be. Chook.
Chook. Something you eat. Giovanna got it right. Chick or chicken. That's what we call chicken. Yeah, so if you want to go get some hot chook, it's what we call a rotisserie chicken. If you want fried chook, you go to KFC, which KFC in America is disgusting. If you ever come over here, do not eat it. It's you'll be very, very disappointed. But KFC in Australia is actually really good. Pat Boo says Chinese food. I'll give you partial credit for that because there's a lot of chook in Chinese food. All right, I'm going to get this right in a minute. Yes, yes. Okay, so we didn't goof this up too bad. Okay, let's go back to the correct screen. Okay. Yeah, Schlick Stitches says chicken. Yep, you got that right. I figured somebody had put in the helicopter, which is the Chinook, the one with the blades on both ends. It was really cool. Actually, I got to see one of those floating around here a few years ago because we live very close to Norfolk Naval Base and there's an air force. Yeah, we have all the military here, so you see all sorts of cool military stuff. Okay, Melanie Taylor says KFC pot pie is the bomb. I had one yesterday. I have not tried that pot pie, but this KFC in Australia is fantastic. I love KFC Australia, but I cannot eat the stuff here. It's just
I haven't been to KFC in a while. Although we do have the big chicken here in Marietta, which is a giant chicken-shaped building. It's also cockeyed. Yeah. And it's a KFC.
Oh, okay. We have the big everything in Australia. Like
The joke is all directions in Marietta start with you go to the big chicken.
The big chook. That's funny. Okay, so that goes there. That goes there. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once and it doesn't work so well.
I'm seeing
Okay.
that.
Hey, at least I can admit it, right? Okay, Melanie says, oh, it's great, especially to crust. Okay, I might have to go try that at some point and just see if I can have some faith back in my KFC. But I'll have to go find a good KFC first, because the one near here, like,
yeah,
all the fast food stuff near my house is on one street, and you wait forever for anything. So I'm going to have to go find a different KFC to try that. But you know, that's a story for another day. Okay, let's see. So the chook we didn't do well. Okay, what is clucky?
well, I don't think that's a chicken at this point.
No, it's got nothing to do with chickens. Well, it could be, but not really.
Would
If you're feeling clucky,
is that like crummy, like sick, ill?
no.
No.
This one you're probably not going to get. This is one of the hard ones.
Is that like you're having a good day? You're excited. I'm feeling like it's a awesome day.
You're getting closer, and it's usually it's something the ladies would feel more so than the gents. I'm not saying that gents wouldn't, but it's something more, you know, the females would be more prone to. Okay, so Melanie says someone who talks a lot. No. Cheeky, crazy. No. These are all great guesses. I'm loving this one. This is why I threw this in, because I figured it'd be fun to see. Hyper bold. Okay, I really do need one of my Australian guests to come in and just give us the answer. Where are you, Jan? Broody, yes. I will say broody. I'll give you, Zaza's doing so well on this.
Broody.
So basically, it's someone that is feeling maternal. You say you got to get clucky when you like, you're thinking about maybe starting a family or something like that. So broody would be the American or Americanish term for that. So there you go. So it was funny. One of my friends from my old job in Australia was talking to Amanda about being clucky one day. We were talking, and Amanda's like, "What's she talking about?" I'm like we get these moments. You go down there and we start all talking, and then
Well, I'm good at just, faking the terms. Like if it's in a conversation, like, okay, yeah, sure, I get it. The first time that I heard something like fussy cut, I just completely faked as if I knew exactly what was going on. I had no clue.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because like there was they start talking stuff at work in the office, and there's sometimes I have no clue what they're talking about. And so I'll just sit there and Google it. And so
Yeah,
that way I can stay caught up. And one of my coworkers was like, how do you know everything? Like, you know everything. And I'm like, you stay quiet, you Google it, and then that way you don't look ignorant.
exactly. Google is your friend.
So there's your trick. Just look it up on your phone or look it up on the computer, Google, and that way you'll stay caught up. That is my trick for you guys there. So all right. Dragonflies for Donna says Clucky is smacking the hubby for declaring a fabric stash. I love her. She's so funny. Okay, so there we go. All right, so crook.
Crook, is that like
It's
an
a
elbow?
feeling.
Oh, it's a feeling. Uh, you're feeling like you're upset, I'm gonna say.
No, but you're not going to be feeling great if you're crook.
So you're sick?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I had to kind of guide you on that one. Yes. So if someone says you're crook, you're not a criminal. Although people will say, yeah, but your country's founded on convicts. But who else is not a criminal? Most of those people got sent over for misdemeanors. So it wasn't like they sent over axe murderers and
Exactly.
that sort of thing. There, it was like people stealing bread to feed their families. So. Teresa says angry. That's the other version of crook. You can say you're crook on someone if you're angry. So I will give Teresa credit on that one as well. But you did get it first. So there we go. Feeling bad is what someone said.
Giovanna.
Yes. Zaza says try having teenagers. Urban Dictionary is the best. Yeah, one of my that's a dangerous thing to do, though. Be careful. These
It
kids have got
is
these
very dangerous.
very dangerous.
I will
So
refuse to do that if I can help it because I have seen some interesting things thanks to the Urban Dictionaries. And as worse,
yeah,
I'm part of a group in Facebook that likes to post edge case things that Facebook is on the edge of banning.
right.
And I'll be like, I don't understand what this is. And I'm like, the only way I'm going to know is Urban Dictionary. And then I will be like, okay, I'm sorry I make that.
Yeah, I made that mistake at work the other day. They were talking about something, and I was silly enough to ask what it was. And once I learned what it was, I was like, dear goodness, no. I can't remember what it was. I erased it from my
We're
memory.
not even going to discuss what it was if he did remember because we don't need people looking those things up.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, just if you ever go to Urban Dictionary, proceed with caution. Okay, so Jan has asked me to ask you what walkabout is. I figure you'll probably get this one.
Is that like a little trip or
It could be, but if you remember the old days from Crocodile Dundee, I think he mentioned it as a journey of self-discovery, and I think he went on a walkabout for like 9 months. So
yeah. There was an episode of Babylon 5 called Walkabout. So that's why I'm
yeah,
like, it's like a little bit of a journey, a trip. So yeah.
actually, Jan can correct me if I'm wrong on this too. There's actually a fairly famous Australian novel called Walkabout, and it was based on a couple of Aboriginal kids and that sort of thing. There, it's been a long time since I have read it, but it's actually a very interesting book. I think it was one of those things that we mostly study in school as kids. Okay, walking around. Yes. Okay. Zaza says Crocodile Dundee. Yes, perfect. That's where I remember it from. Okay, so Dax,
Dax, DAX.
DAKS, but I guess
Or
you could do DA.
DAKS. Because DAX is that character from Star Trek.
Okay, so no, no, it's not him.
Uh Dax.
Do you want me to use it in a sentence?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and put your Dax on before you go outside.
Shoes.
Close, go a little further north.
Is it gonna be like a jacket?
South.
Pants.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so you put your Dax on. You put your pants on. Okay, and then it looks like you just beat Annette Wagner, who got it right. Okay. Drongo.
Brongo.
Drongo.
Drongo.
Yeah. Describes a person.
Are they drunk?
No, that's a good. Well, they could be a drongo when they're drunk, but this guy's a real drongo.
Uh, so if they can be like drunk, they're either real exciting or really boring.
No.
No. Uh,
Really hope
silly.
you're enjoying this.
Well, now I'm just like these are words that that just started. Yeah, this part I'm like this is interesting because I'm learning things.
Yes,
Not that I'm going to remember all these terms in 20 minutes.
that's okay. Crazy is close, is what Giovanna said. Janet's laughing because she knows the answer. Jerk, no. I mean, okay. So we'll just go. I think we'll give it like a few more seconds and we'll give you the answer.
But like silly,
You're getting closer.
because crazy, silly.
Someone that's not real bright is basically the answer. Like someone that's, yeah. Yes, Zaza says here it'd be a Ned, or I think what is it, Scott? I think also a numpty is another one. That's a term for a lovable idiot in I think it's Scotland. Um, is
So
a
so
numpty.
like a polite term for a dunce.
Yes, is what a numpty is. Now, a drongo is more a broad term where it's just anyone that's not real bright, or just acting stupid. Like you can say, hey, this guy's acting like a drongo. If they're just doing something stupid, it's kind of a broad term. But yeah, numpty is more a yeah, it's a more of a lovable idiot. Is my understanding. Oh, Zazo said idiot. Did I miss that? I believe you. Okay. All right, we'll give Zaza a point. Oh, hang on, that's a seam ripper, not a pen.
Trying to get
What's wrong?
holes in your paper.
I know. Well, okay. Tracy says, hello, hello. Long time no see. I'm awake on a Saturday morning. Well, it could be Sunday somewhere. Yeah, New Zealand. Okay.
Yeah.
On a Saturday morning for the first time in a long time. Hope you're doing. It's so good to see you, Tracy. I remember Tracy. She was a great viewer of mine back in the day. We used to interact all the time, and I haven't heard a whole lot from her. So it's really, really cool to see as well. Okay, so Debbie says it. She said, I said idiot. I don't know. I must have missed it. Okay, I believe you all. You guys get the point for that. So no problem.
The filter on YouTube may have calmed down some like if
Yeah,
they
that's what I'm
said
thinking.
the
I'm going to
single
have.
word. I
Yeah.
forgot that YouTube does some of those filterings automatically that you can't see over on our side.
Yeah, I put live chat. Yeah, not so, okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. Block heater, do you know what that is what Schlick Stitches is asking. That's like those. We used to have them in high school. It was like a
Radiator.
big, yeah, like a big radiator. Like we had ones in high school that were like the radiator, but it was like 2 foot by 2 foot by 3 foot. And if you were really cold, you sat on it and you warmed yourself. Like I used to sit on the one in the chemistry lab all the time. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, so we actually got the wing put together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I only messed up once, so that's not too bad. Okay, anyway, back to we're only halfway through this. We might have to do round two next time. That's sad.
You've
Okay,
got other victims, I mean opportunities.
I know we might do have our next victim do the second half of this. Okay, fortnight.
That's 2 weeks.
Very good. Okay.
Because I love using that term at work when I can, and people are like, "What?" I was like, "No, I learned this. That's a term that we really learned in elementary school, and I enjoy using it when I can." It's even more fun if you can use a term fortnightly.
Yes, yeah. People have no idea what you're talking about. I try not to use it because I just don't want to confuse people. Okay, so Jan has come up with an extra one for us. What is khaki-handed?
Khaki-handed.
I'd forgotten about this one.
Ambidextrous.
Close. I'm khaki-handed.
Okay, so left-handed then.
Correct. All right, and then Galah.
Galah.
Galah, Galah, has a couple of different meanings. I'll give you either one.
Hooray. Like huzzah.
Okay, good guess.
Um,
You could also call a drongo a galah, I guess, in some ways.
so a bum.
Okay, Annette's got it, a fool. Okay, so there's
Fool.
there's two different meanings for this. So someone that's acting a galah or someone that's acting a fool, or it's also a bird. Which, where? No, it's too far away. I can't get it. That's all right. We'll just show you a picture online.
Oh, your it's a bird on your
Yeah, the
your
panel
row.
I did, the pink one. Visit site. Okay, and we got to show you pictures on here. Hang on. Once I find share screen. Go share, and I hope Wikipedia doesn't mind me doing this. There we go, and that's
Oh,
the
it's
bird
so
galah.
cute.
It's such a
like a
cute
little
bird, but
parakeet without the
yeah,
different
well, it's
colors.
actually bigger. It's probably the size of a small, like a little bit bigger than a fat pigeon, or maybe a US seagull.
Really?
Yeah, they're a lot bigger than the budgie. Yep. So there you go. So that's a galah. Okay, flamingo. Okay. Mike says a friend of mine calls herself the flaming galah. That's funny. And that says it's also a cockatoo. I don't know yet. They're a little bit smaller than a cockatoo. I don't know if the galahs in a cockatoo family or not. It very well may be. I have to go look up to see if biologically or whatever they call it, these, I can't remember, if it's in the same family as cockatoos. Let's go see if it is. We gotta learn today. We gotta learn stuff.
That's what you come to YouTube for, is to learn.
Physical a cockatoo. Let's see. What does Mr. Google say? Oh, it is a type of cockatoo. Okay. Yes, a galah is a type of cockatoo. So yeah, it's a little, yeah. So you're usually more used to like the sulfur crested cockatoos, which is the white and yellow, like the white bird of the yellow plumes, which is also on the panel that I did. You'll have to go back and watch that video if you missed it. But yeah, the galahs, these ones are more common as well. So there we go. All right, let's see. We can move on and do a couple more. What is a hoon?
A hoon.
Hoon, Hoon.
I'm gonna say that's like your significant other, like your honey.
No, it's a good guess though. Okay, so this person is a real hoon.
You realize every single one of your descriptions is exactly the same.
Well, I can't give it away. I mean, I'm going to make it somewhat challenging for you.
How about like a hoot, like a great person to be around?
Not necessarily. Not unless you want to get somewhere very quickly.
Not unless you want to get somewhere very quickly.
Yeah. Jan says she has one in the house. Is it you or one of your family members? Teresa Lynch causing compound says hooligans. Yes, that would be correct. So basically, it's someone who drives really crazily, like an aggressive or super fast driver. So yeah. So if you go hooning, you're driving around really quickly. So that's why I said, dangerous driver. Annette Wagner. I think she's hit it right on the head on that one there. So we'll give that one to the viewers. All right, lollies.
Aren't those suckers lollipops?
It's more broad, but yes, I'll give
Or
you that.
candies.
Basically, it's candy. So yeah, you definitely get that one now. Okay. We can run a little long, right? Does it matter if we don't get off right at 9:30? Just
Uh,
knock off this.
I would prefer closer to 9:30 because
Oh
I
yeah,
have
we won't keep it on to
breakfast.
like 10:30. Yeah, it'll be just a few minutes maybe.
Yeah, a few
Okay.
minutes after is fine.
Okay, so Macca's.
Macca's. Um,
It's a business.
McDonald's.
Very good. Yes, I think in the UK it's Mickey D. No, hang on. Mackey's. I think it's Mackey's in the UK, or at least that's what Simon Wilson calls it. Um, so there we go.
And
Okay.
Burger King is Jack's there.
Hungry Jack's. Yeah, because the
Hungry Jack's.
story goes, I don't think I could be wrong on this, but apparently somebody in like South Australia had a little hamburger stand and
But they
trademarked a Burger
copyrighted
King.
Burger King.
Yeah, and so they wouldn't give it up. So they just said, okay, we'll call it Hungry Jack's.
Again,
So,
yet another Australian channel I watch called How to Cook That with Anne Reardon.
oh, okay, I'll have to go check that out.
Oh yeah,
Because
she's awesome. And she did a whole thing about Hungry Jack's a few months back.
okay, so the next one, I'm going to kind of give you a little bit extra because I don't know you're going to get this one. What is a Manchester store?
I'm gonna say that that is a lumber yard.
No, we've all been to a Manchester store at least once in our lives. Some of us probably go more than often than you realize,
Uh,
especially in this group.
would that be a quilt shop, fabric
You could
store,
qual
craft store?
partial credit. Those items would be in I believe be in a Manchester store. Depends on which one you are talking about. Supermarket is not the correct answer. I figured Zaza would get this right. Bingo, you got it. Teresa, she says bedding. So basically, it's a store that sells like anything of material like curtains, bedding. When I worked in a retail store, our Manchester department also included like yarn, quilting supplies, sewing, and that sort of thing there as well. So what you got, like Bed Bath and Beyond would, back in its heyday, like that
Would be
left-hand
considered
side of the
Manchester.
store would have been a Manchester store. It's a British term, I believe, if I remember correct. Teresa says cotton
Manchester is
goods.
my elementary school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of Manchester. Is it? I thought it was Manchester, New Hampshire. Or is there one in Massachusetts too?
No, this was in South Carolina.
Uh,
The elementary school. Don't know. I don't. Well, there's Manchester State Forest near it, so that's probably where it got its name. But
okay.
I don't know any further etymology behind it except for that the school was called Manchester, and we just accepted it as kids.
Oh, okay. So as I said, she'd never heard of that one. It's not Brie. Okay, so that's interesting. I always thought it was a British term. So see, I'm learning stuff too. Okay, mozzie,
Mozzie,
type of animal.
mouse.
Close. It's a pest. So you're in the right ballpark, but a little
Okay, the
smaller.
fact that you were calling a mouse a pest offends me.
Well, the ones that you don't want in your house, like if there was a mouse in this house, my wife would probably burn the place to the ground. Okay, Annette Wagner has got it. So has Zaza.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I saw that.
Okay,
When
yep.
I saw
So
the term, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
okay, so the pokies.
Pokies,
Yes.
like a porcupine
No, it's a
or a cactus.
you'd find a lot of these in Vegas, among other places, but Vegas is a place you would find them. In Australia, you'd find them in every pub, every club. Um, you'd also find them in casinos.
I was gonna say
Yes.
slot
Uh-huh.
machine.
Yes. Yeah, we call them poker machines for some reason. I don't know why, even though
Ah,
it is.
poker machine.
Yes, I don't know why they're called poker machines because it's usually the real, just like a regular
Yeah.
slot machine. I mean, there is video poker as well, but there you go. Yep, and that's really good at this. We'll have to have her come on one day and do one of
Yeah.
these more difficult ones. So there we go. All right, what is a rally?
A really old thing, like a relic.
Well, I'll give you partial credit for that one too.
Antique.
Okay, so it's a type of person.
Oh, a octogenarian.
Could be. Yeah, well, it could be. Everybody has them.
Grandparents.
Well, that would be a type of rally.
Oh. So old person, basically. No?
No, because you can have young rallies too.
Oh, family.
Yes, your relatives. We short. What you'll learn in Australia is we
Sure.
shorten so
Yeah.
many terms. So remember that. That yeah, it's try and shorten some of the stuff, and that
That's
might
what
get
that's
you.
what I'm trying. That's what I've been trying to do is like I'm like, okay, I know it's a small portion. What's the rest of it?
Yes. Okay, so this one I found last night. I've never heard this one before, but I had to throw it in for good luck. What is a shark biscuit? Jan will have to tell me she's heard this one before, because I said I found it on a list last night. I have to answer.
I'm all I can just visualize is Sharknado, and that's
No,
what
it's so be a type of person again.
somebody that you want to feed to the sharks,
Not
obviously.
necessarily. No, I just surfboard is a good answer, but
That's
that
a
is
good
not
one.
correct.
A surfer.
She said surfboard. I was like, that's a
Yeah,
great answer. Okay, so
and
basically,
that's what made you think surfer.
okay, that's not the well. We may have to give her credit for that one because the answer I saw was a kid, like a shark bit. But it was
Okay.
a yeah. But you know, I'm going to give her that and I'm going to give her credit for the surfboard because that's usually what they go after is the surfboards anyway because
Yeah.
they think to a seal. So yeah, Jan saying surfer. So yeah, we're going to give you guys credit for that one. Okay, what is a snag?
A snag.
Yeah,
Other than, I hit a snag, I hit a wall, I hit a
right. Type of
difficulty.
food.
A food snag. That would be a Snickers bar.
No, it's not a candy. It's a type of meat.
Would it be a steak?
Close.
Uh,
In the UK, they would call it a okay
they would
banger.
call it a banger in the UK.
Yeah,
After I see sausage.
sausage. Yeah. So yeah, we call them stags. All right. What is a stubby?
A stubby.
Yes. You would find this at the bottle though.
The little mini shot bottles.
Little bigger. You're in the right ballpark.
So bigger than the shots. So
Yes.
just a small bottle of liquor then.
Not necessarily. Usually a stubby is a small bottle of beer. So and again, Nanette got this one.
Uh,
Really need to have Annette on to do a quiz, but I'm going to have to find far more difficult questions for her. Oh, hang on. Now it disappeared. Okay, let's see. Tea. And it's
tea,
not a beverage.
as in TEA.
Yes.
That's like you spill the tea, you spill the dish. You
Well, we
talking.
say spill the beans usually. Um, I'm off to go have tea.
Oh, you're off to go have tea.
Yes. Oh yeah, stubbies are also shorts. I forgot about that. Yeah, the little like those little tradesman shorts. They call them stubbies as well because that's actually the brand name of some of the shorts that a lot of tradies wear. See, we're using all Australian terms together today.
I don't know what tea would be. They're saying
Okay,
yes.
Teresa got it. It's dinner. It's what we call dinner. So yeah, well, if you say we'll go have dinner, we're off to have tea. I don't know why it's called tea. I mean, we have morning tea, afternoon tea, and tea. I guess Australians like using tea when it's a feeding time. Okay. You're probably gonna know this one. I figured I'd throw it in for good luck. Thongs.
Bongs.
Thongs.
Oh,
THONGS.
thongs. Flippity flops.
Very good. Yes. I still remember my first time my parents came over to the US. My dad was asking my mom, "Hey, have you seen my thongs?" And poor Amanda didn't know what to do with herself.
They're called thongs in some areas of the US. I know that.
Yeah. So there we go. That one's fun. Okay, what is a tinny?
A
And
tin-
there's gonna be two different answers for this one.
would that be like a can of soda or beer?
Yeah, primarily beer, but yes. And then it can also refer to a small aluminium boat.
Ah,
It's like we went on a small cruise one time up one of the rivers nearby, and my poor sister didn't want to go on. She's like, I'm not going on that tin can cruise. Like, yeah. So a small boat is called a tinny, like the one that if you remember watching Crocodile Dundee and you see that tin boat that's up there where
yep.
he was catching barramundi, that would be a tinny as well. Okay, Tucker.
Tucker, he quilts.
No, okay. Partial credit. Okay, so yes, that's a good answer, and he's a wonderful quilter. If you haven't checked out Tucker's Sewing and Quilting, please go check it out. It was so fun to see him in person. Jan's asking Annette Wagner, is she Aussie? I know she lives in the US, but maybe she came from Australia or knows somebody. Okay, and Zaza's got it. It's food. That's what, we got to go get our Tucker. We're going to have
Okay.
Tucker for tea. Um, all right, and then finally we have a whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Yes.
I'm like whoop whoop.
Okay, no, not necessarily.
And it's not like you're opening up a can of whoop whoop.
No.
To quote Stone or to semi quote Stone Cold Steve Austin. Uh, and it's not
A
like it's
tuck shop. Yeah,
whoopee.
we got to ask that one. I'll ask that one in a second. Okay, sorry, no. Very, Annette must be
She
Australian.
has to be.
Yes, yeah, middle of nowhere. Like you say, okay, yeah, it's way out whoop whoop. It's in the middle of nowhere, or past the black.
BFE.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that one, but yes,
You can say BFE. You can't say
yes.
the other one.
Well, I actually said that in front of a kid one day in front of at Busch Gardens because they said, "Where'd you park?" And it's like this overflow parking across the street. And I said, "Yeah, we're over in Egypt," because they name all the parking lots because it's Busch Gardens, Williamsburg's. It's modeled after all the
Yeah.
different countries in Europe. They have Ireland and Italy and France and Germany. And so I told man, I said, "Yeah, we're parked in Egypt." And this poor kid's like, "What are they talking about?" Um, and the mum's like, "Don't worry about him. He's just crazy." All right, bye, Joyce. It's good to see you as well. Okay, so Jan's got one last one that we got to put in is a tuck shop.
A tuck shop.
Yes. Think
Tuck.
back on some of the words we've used
You said
already.
Tucker, so that would be a grocery store,
Hello, no, not a grocery store.
convenience store,
You'd find this at all schools, among other
cafeteria,
places. Sorry?
cafeteria.
Yes. Yeah, so we call it a tuck shop or a canteen. But yeah, we call them a tuck shop. So yeah, you go order your lunch from the tuck shop. So there you go. All right. Melanie Taylor says, "Hey peeps, go to try power wash my front porch. Wish me luck. Talk to you
Oh,
all
that sounds
later."
fun.
Well, if you finish yours, you want to come over and do mine. That would be fantastic. I'll send you my address. Okay, so let's take a look and see how many Russ got. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, not correct. So you got 16 out of 30, which is pretty good.
It's
I'm
better
quite,
than half.
yeah, it's better than half. And passing grade in most Australian schools is 50%. So you definitely passed the Australian set. And then if we add the job descriptions, that was another 8 out of 10. So that would be 24 out of 40. So you're definitely well over halfway. So I think you did quite well. Thank you for being my guinea pig here.
It was fun.
Yes, I thought so too. Okay. Oh, Esky. Okay. Jan's already called him chili bin. So do you know what an Esky is?
No. Oh, wait. When they said chili bins, um, cooler.
Yes. Yeah, it's a brand name. So, it's kind of like when, folks in the UK will call a vacuum cleaner a Hoover because that's
Yep.
like the most prominent brand. So yeah, we just call them Eskies, that sort of thing there as well. So there you go. Samantha Savage says hello. All right, so we do need to probably wrap this thing up in a few minutes because Donnell will probably be live in a few minutes, and then Russ has to go get ready for his live.
Yep.
But yeah, so thank you so much for joining me today. It was so much
Thank
fun.
you.
And thank you for being my guinea pig with this little quiz. We'll have to come up with some other quizzes for future guests and not tell them what it is. You know, we can't
That
let
was
them
the
go.
best part because I had no idea this was coming.
Well, if I did, you would have gone and researched everything, right? I know I would have. Yeah, and
I mean,
I
I
need to
didn't
know
have,
how
I
Annette
wouldn't have had
knows.
time to, but yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, thank you for your suggestions there, Jan. It was good to see you. And I need to figure out how Annette knew all these answers. I don't know. Maybe she did not have time to be sitting there researching this stuff either. So that's great. Zaza says we need to do this again. It was good
Yeah.
fun. Maybe next time we'll do like a British terms one. I might have to recruit some of my British friends to give me some really cool British terms like numpty. And that sort of thing there. So yeah, we got some good things. Yes, Russ was a good sport. Absolutely. I'm glad everyone enjoyed this. We didn't get as much song as we did wanted to, but we figured we'll do this little quiz thing and see how it went.
I've
Do you
got
have
my
anything?
triangle sewn, so
Well, good. And I got this much done. I only had to pull that jack once, so I'm happy. Do you have anything fun coming up before we run away that you want to talk about?
besides my live in just under an hour and a half on my channel, where I will be putting these together into a blocks and to quilt, then tomorrow evening I will have my weekly vlog where all the shenanigans that I've gotten up to this week will be on display. And there's probably going to be a surprise live sometime right after the 4th of July,
Okay.
just because of the schedule. And also starting next week on my lives, I will be working on the Fort Worth Fabric Studio As the Crow Flies project on my lives.
That'd be
Stephanie
fun.
does the tutorials, and I will just be sewing them up if anybody wants to join and sew with me for the project. Just because it's fun and they're convenient projects, they're great patterns. So I will be just sewing them up live. The first week, which would have been today, is just all cutting, and I don't have a cutting cam, so that's why I didn't do the first week on with my live.
Yep, not an issue. And yeah, cuttings. Yeah, I had to cut on live yesterday, and it was kind of nerve-wracking.
Who won that? I didn't get a chance to see that because I had.
Yeah, so voting is still going on that one there. Let's go ahead and throw that into the mix. For anyone that didn't see, I was live with Kim from Cotton Cuts yesterday, and we sewed up a block, and just grabbing the link for that now. And we sewed up a block, and where is it? Is it here where I can get to it? Yeah, right there. Here we go.
Oh, that came out fun.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I still need to press it, and I need to unstitch it here because I kind of sewed over where I shouldn't have. But I had to cut the fabric and sew it, and they told us 12 minutes, which
Yeah, I got to that part, and I think you were like halfway through, and then all of a sudden a meeting popped up. I'm like, but I want to know who's going to win. And
okay, so we don't
know.
know who won yet. You guys get to choose who wins. So you can go over to the video. I put the link on there as well, and then you get to vote whether you like mine or Kim's better. And then whoever wins will get the bragging rights, of course. And then Cotton Cuts
And
is
their
also
charity
making it.
gets some
Yeah,
money.
their charity gets a $250 donation. So they're both wonderful causes. Of course, it'd be fun to win, but if Kim wins, the donation will go to a very, very worthy cause. So I think everyone's a winner. I'm really happy with whoever wins. Like if I end up not being the winner on this one, it's going to be okay. I'm really content. So there we go there as well. Okay, so if you haven't seen that, go check that video out. Go see the craziness of me trying to cut, because I always prepare my fabric ahead of time. The craziness of having to cut online and then sew and doing it under a clock. Yeah, not my idea. It was very nerve-wracking. People said I stay calm. I don't know how I managed to do that. I guess I'm a good actor, I guess. So there we go. All right. So we have all the fun people coming on later on today. So check out the live schedule. I'll show it in one more time so that way you can see who's live, including Russ at 11. Go over and check him out. He's always a lot of fun. And I'll be back tomorrow morning for my podcast, and then go check out Russ's in the afternoon. I think after that, I think we're good. So thank you all for joining us. If you're watching the replay, say hi in the comments and let me know what your favorite Australian term that you learned today was. Yeah, that'll be today's question. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So thank you again for joining us, Russ. I hope you have a great weekend. Happy Canada Day on Monday for my Canadian guests, and then happy 4th for our friends in the UK. I'm not sorry. Yeah, yeah. If you celebrate
They're
July
not happy
4th,
about the 4th.
well, there might be some. Okay, so if you're in the UK and you want to celebrate July 4th, be my guest. Enjoy it, but US. And then if you're in the UK or Australia or New Zealand, then just have a good week. But no holiday for you. Hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.